So, what about that? Because we was in the Battle of Hastings.
Yeah.
And it weren't long after that, even though in time it was a fair while, but it weren't long after that we went straight over to the Battle of Trafalgar. Do you remember?
Yeah, what turned out to be the Battle of Trafalgar.
1805, wasn't it? 1805,
yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Muggins here, you know, eh? Muggins here. Oh, what my job is down below decks, innit? You know, working with all the men loading up the cannons and all that, making sure that they were lifting them up properly and putting the cannonballs in a correct manner. Yeah. And of course you get the frigging cushy job of working up there with Nelson in the officers' mess.
Well, I was in the officers' mess with Nelson and his team, and now he was a nice bloke, Horatio, nice bloke, great tactician, great battle technician, but he never had much of a grasp on the English language,
well,
you know,
that's
really.
exactly right.
And he wanted to send up a message to inspire the English fleet against the Spanish and the French. Yeah. And he was writing things down. I want you all to do your job. Yeah. And
we expect
you to fight and do your duty. So I thought I'd just help out a bit and say, look, why don't you write something like, England expects every man to do his duty. Next thing I know, it's run up on the flags, and all the ships in the line are cheering and
fighting behind him. Yeah, because he gets the credit, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he gets the credit.
But you know, I'm a bit too modest to claim the.
How about though? Because we was having a cup of tea during the time, and when you actually said to him, you know, for fuck's sake, don't go out there in your dress uniform on the bridge. Right. Yeah. You might as well strap a fucking target to your back. You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, look what happened.
Look what happened, eh? Oh, fucking hell.
Here's a date for you.
Yeah, go on.
9th of April, 1912. How about that?
Yeah, Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton.
I remember we walked off that Titanic in Southampton docks, totally gobsmacked. All the recommendations we'd made have been chucked out the window. Yeah. Or porthole, actually.
Well, exactly. Yeah. We've been given our marching orders. You know, again, they just didn't like us, did they? No, right from the word go.
No.
You know, the builders didn't like us right from the word go.
No.
And I was just, like you say, you work towards all this stuff. You try to put on all these recommendations, don't you? Eh? You know. And as we walked off, I remember, as we, I'm trying to think of his name. As we walked off the gangplank, you called up to that fucking chief engineer. What a prick, wasn't he? What was his name?
Joseph Bell.
That's the man. That's the man. So Joseph, he was your chief, wasn't he? He was the chief. He was a toss bag, you know. Yeah. And because we have a prime directive, we knew what was going to happen, didn't we?
Yeah.
We couldn't go up there and tell, you know, Ted Smith. How many times we have a drink with Ted Smith? Because he likes a bit of a tipple, didn't he? You know, how many times did we give him hints?
And you give him enough warnings, didn't you?
Unbelievable. We did, you know,
in a subtle way.
In a subtle way,
yeah.
Well, we dropped the old in, you know. Make sure when you go out on your first voyage, you keep the lookouts looking out, you know, and not having a drop of the old rum like they was a little bit partial to.
Don't go too far north.
Don't go too far north, you know. We've done all of that, didn't we? I mean, how much more can we do, you know?
Salary.
Do you remember you even went round with a bit of chalk and wrote the numbers of the lifeboats? You remember you went round and said 1, 2, and then come out and said, I don't think there's enough.
Yes.
And they still didn't fucking twig, did they? No. Fucking wankers.
They sacked us off that one.
They did.
How about this one then, Keith? 1926.
Oh.
Our first venture into the New World, Australia.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Because we was working for Dorman Long at the time, weren't we? In Middlesbrough in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. And
we had those bunch of Aussies come over, do you remember?
They wanted to build this bridge in Sydney, and they didn't know what type of bridge. Would it be a suspension bridge, a beam, or an arch? And
of course, being Aussies, what did they want? They wanted something a bit of an icon that they could potentially use for generations. You know, and I suppose that's fair enough, being a new country, isn't it?
But we happened to have the plans for the Tyne Bridge to hand, and we just threw it on there. I mean,
But what happened, you know, because I mean they was umming and ahhing about the cost and the money, and even the Dolman Long engineers, you know, they were trying to sell a new bridge and a new design and all that, and you went up there and you went, oi, have a look at this sunshine, and of course the Aussies, they went, you know, we'll have some of that, we'll just build it 2 or 3 times bigger, you know, and that is exactly what they did. Of course, all made out of Middlesbrough steel, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
You know, there was, and of course you could actually compare the 2 structures as well, because the occupational health and safety record.
That's right.
Was pretty dismal for the Sydney Harbour Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Compared with the time.
8 deaths to 1.
8 deaths, yeah. The time had 1, and you know the Aussies had 8.
Well, you've got blokes working up there in trilbies and in shirts and ties and that instead of proper safety equipment. You know. Yeah. Wouldn't listen to us with the Ardacs and safety boots, etc., would they? No,
exactly right. I did hear a figure and all. I did hear a figure that over 100,000 of the rivets had to be replaced on the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Yeah?
Yeah, I heard that, yeah. It was a, yeah.
It's been kept quiet, hasn't it?
Well, you know, they don't publicise that, do they?
No.